In 1803, the United States made a deal that changed history forever. For just $15 million, America bought a territory so huge it instantly doubled the size of the country. But here's the shocking part. France's ruler, Napoleon Bonaparte, desperately wanted to keep this land. So why did he suddenly agree to sell it? And how did one signature reshape the future of the United States?
In the early 1800s, France controlled a vast territory in North America called Louisiana. It stretched from the Mississippi River westward across a huge part of the continent. But Louisiana was not simply empty land. New Orleans was a crucial port connecting the Mississippi River system to the Gulf of Mexico. Control of the river meant control of one of America's most important trade routes. And Napoleon Bonaparte had ambitious plans for France in North America. He wanted to rebuild French power across the Atlantic. For a moment, Louisiana looked like an important piece of that plan. The Louisiana Territory was also strategically important because the Mississippi River connected the interior of North America to the Gulf of Mexico. Whoever controlled New Orleans could influence the movement of goods across a huge part of the continent.
But Napoleon's plans began to fall apart. France was fighting wars across Europe, and maintaining a distant colony was becoming increasingly difficult. Then came an even bigger problem. A revolution had erupted in the French colony of Saint-Domingue on the island of Hispaniola. The conflict became a major challenge to French power in the Caribbean. French forces suffered devastating losses, weakening Napoleon's ability to maintain his American ambitions. At the same time, war with Britain remained a constant threat. Napoleon now had to reconsider what Louisiana was really worth to France. But France's position in North America was becoming harder to maintain. Napoleon needed to focus his resources on the wars in Europe, while events in the Caribbean were weakening French control overseas. Louisiana was beginning to look less like an opportunity and more like a burden.
Meanwhile, the United States had a very different problem. American farmers and traders depended heavily on the Mississippi River. But access to New Orleans was essential for moving goods to international markets. President Thomas Jefferson wanted to secure that access. At first, Jefferson was mainly interested in buying New Orleans. But France had something much bigger to offer. The Americans were suddenly faced with an extraordinary opportunity. They could secure New Orleans and potentially control an enormous stretch of North America.
In 1803, negotiations between the United States and France began. The Americans expected to purchase New Orleans. Instead, Napoleon offered to sell the entire Louisiana Territory. The price was $15 million. That was roughly 4 cents per acre. On April 30th, 1803, the agreement was signed. The United States had just made one of the largest land deals in history, and almost overnight, the country had doubled in size.
The Louisiana Purchase transformed the future of the United States. It gave America control of the Mississippi River and New Orleans. It opened enormous amounts of land for westward expansion. Over the following decades, settlers moved westward, and new territories became part of the growing nation. The purchase also helped establish the United States as a major continental power. What began as a deal for New Orleans became a turning point in American history. A single purchase had changed the map of North America forever. The new territory did not become a collection of states overnight. It took decades of exploration, settlement, conflict, and political decisions before much of this land was organized into the United States we recognize today. But the purchase gave the country room to grow.
Napoleon needed money, France was facing war, and America saw an opportunity. The result was a deal that neither country could fully understand at the time. For $15 million, the United States acquired more than 800,000 square miles of land,
That purchase would shape America's expansion for generations. And it all began with one extraordinary question. How much was Louisiana really worth?